That's already. Hi! So, the league is over, and we are going to look at all the results. Everybody's played their games. Let's go to Ratus Draconii, my Skaven team. The first beating is completed. It has been done. 9 out of 9 rounds have been played. Wow. How awesome. So, if we look at the leaderboard, the Dark Elves came in with 8 wins and 1 draw. Their last game was against the AI, rather disappointingly. So of course they won. And they were neck and neck with the Amazons by Stevens Rocket right up until Stevens' last game against the Lizardmen. That's So I'm Push on Twitch. And finally, the Amazons got their asses kicked. Alas, there was no time for anybody to kick the Dark Elves' asses as well, to keep it even. So the Dark Elves won. The Amazons got squished by the Lizardmen, which is what the Lizardmen honestly should have been doing all season, but somehow didn't. In fact, I think I managed to kill one of their Sauruses as Skaven, who aren't that strong. It just went very wrong for them, which is why they're in 5th. The Undead are in 3rd place, Grimjaw. Undead are a really good team from what I can tell, and quite tough, and Grimjaw knows how to play them as well. So, yeah, it was kind of tight between, there was no chance of anybody else getting in 1st or 2nd. It could have been tighter between me and Grim. I had a lot of close matches. We could have had a bit more of an exciting competition for 3rd as well, but there was no risk. It was us 2 who played last, and there was no risk of me, unfortunately, overtaking Grimjaw. Unfortunately, because I did win that one, as I'm sure you've already watched my last video on the !YouTube. In fact, I'm sure you're watching this video on the !YouTube right now. Anyway, I hate doing that stuff. But, I suppose I have to. Well, I may as well. The other rat team, underneath these undead and lizards and me, wow. You have been spanked by Moobot, Grimjaw. You have been absolutely spanked. You have actually, you've actually encouraged the dominatrix. Well done. What were you doing? Were you just were you just making lol signs or something? My bot is hyper aggressive, that's why we call her Moodon. She is oh mama, as Hazar would say. She's a very feisty robo-cow. One day I'll make a follower emote for that. You just said plug multiple times. Oh. Well, maybe she thought you meant a different kind of plug, Grimjaw, and got excited, I don't know. Moving on. Chaos, Games of Ruin. I'm surprised they even came this high. They had a shit time this league. But they did splat me in the first game before I'd remembered how to play. And obviously they're Chaos, so they do manage to do some splatting. I presume that means they did win against the Bretonians, because the Bretonians' wins have not gone up. So they must have won their last game, as well as their first, and a couple in between. But they didn't win as many as you'd have thought a Chaos would. And the fact that these really agile teams did so well, and some of the big bashy teams did terrible, is why our next league is going to be a bashy league, where everybody just bashes the shit out of each other, more or less. So only certified, verified, Warboss approved bashy teams are going to be allowed. Okay, so yeah, we can go back through the schedule if we want. Do we want to? I guess. Whoop. So yeah, I lost. Where am I? There I am. I lost the first one against Chaos. Couldn't remember how to play. Everybody just died. Yay, the video's CMOing soon. TM. Nice. Also, yeah, shout out Warboss. I could do an actual Twitch shout out as well. Because that's where you've been putting some of your games. Last thing playing Bloodbowl 2. Well, fancy that. And yeah, the second week 2, we beat We beat Rothvalar and his Bretonians 3-0, but that's because Rothvalar was completely new to the game and still hadn't figured it out yet. If I were to play him late in the season, so if I were to play Chaos late in the season, this would have been the other way around, and if I were to beat these guys late in the season, this would have been a pretty tight game and I might even have lost and got bashed to pieces. So you win some, you lose some, literally. Actually. Yeah, I only just beat the lizards, and that's because I somehow managed to kill a Saurus, and he rolled like shit for the whole game. And where are we here? We played the AI this week, so we beat them. Thank goodness, because the shame of losing to the AI would have been terrible. And of course, we lost, but only by 1 goal to one of the leading teams, Steven's team, in week 5. And then the next week, it was a really close game with the other Skaven team, unsurprisingly, and they just scored a goal in the last turn that I could have prevented, possibly, except that I rolled double skulls. That was sad. If it weren't for that, maybe me and Grimjaw would have had a more even score and been fighting a bit harder for that 3rd place. But then if it weren't for Steven, I mean, that was a close one as well against Steven, and they've all been really close. And the next one I had was against the actual winning team, and again, it was pretty close. And I could have maybe drawn, or kept it to a draw, much like with Steven. So I had a similar result against both of the top 2 teams, basically. Just didn't quite have enough edge to get a draw. I made a couple of stupid mistakes, or forgot a couple of things in each one. Beat the Hobbits, but like, it felt like I beat them quite neatly, but still, I mean, they could have easily drawn or whatever. I don't think they were that injured by the end, so it wasn't that bad for them. And yeah, the week 9 against the Undead, where Nuffle took a great offence to Grimjaw swearing at him all game, and I took great offence to him saying that he expected to win the game straight up, and then when he was clearly losing very badly, saying that he expected to draw. So I decided that he should lose without even scoring. I wish I could just decide like that, alas. It doesn't work out like that. The dice don't always support your decisions. But yeah, I told him though, overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer, and he didn't listen. So yeah, that was that league, and if we actually go to the Carnage Cup and the Hall of Fame, just take a quick look at this again. We'll look at the top 20 and look for our players. So in the most experienced, we have Medality, who is 5th. And that's about it. So yeah, we did not level up very well in this league. It was a real struggle, and Medality being the toughest and best just happens, always seemed to happen to be where the ball was, always seemed to manage to like defend it and score. So she's got that. She's got a few other things as well. Most violent, Leftover Burger, as you see, who was on the lovely thumbnail for my last video, is Grimjaw's star player, the most violent. Causes most like deaths and injuries. Also his regional manager Spencer's in there. I don't really have anything here. I don't think I've got anything at all on the most violent. I had a really bad game for not being able to, like the whole league, I just couldn't injure people, and it was very frustrating. So I am looking forward in the Bashy League to maybe getting some injuries in. I didn't cause much violence, it's not fair. Usually you get like the odd lucky hit off, and I got obviously Fire Marshal Lily upgraded with the Claw and the Mighty Blow, but that didn't murder anyone, really. Not really, so that was sad. Best receivers, Medality. Outright. By quite a bit. And then obviously you've got the Dark Elves and the winning team. And they like throwing a lot. And you've got the other Skaven, of course. And then interesting, you've got like actually got the Chaos team. I actually wondered then if that means the Chaos player would actually get on better with a more agile team, because really wasn't getting on well with the style of the Chaos team. So actually maybe a playstyle would be better supported by an agile team, even if that's not as, doesn't seem as cool and violent. And then of course we have the fucking star-named Amazons, ugh, and a whole bunch of elves, and then there's my Twitchy, who didn't, bless, score anywhere near as much as Modelity, but really tried. That's it for me, because those are my gutter runners. It's all like Amazons and elves most of the way down, and then some humans, and another rat. Yeesh. Serial kills. Leftover burger, of course. And regional manager spend. So it is amazing that you didn't kill anybody on my team, Grimjaw, and that's kind of amazing considering what your record has been like. And then, for serial kills, you actually have Amazons. Jeez, and then you have the fucking... But these are assassins, right? At least Edge is an assassin. So these are Dark Elves. And Chaos, which you would expect, but not, you'd expect them to be higher. But, like, everybody's scoring 1 at this point, so it really doesn't mean much. Beaver Rat Vegas is in there with 0, but is for some reason in there. And Modality's in there for some reason as well, just because she's awesome, I guess. They all got soft in the last few matches. It was a little, yeah. As a spectator, it was also disappointing. The best interceptors, only 3 people really got any. So, a Bretonian, an AI human, and an Amazon. Is that the only one? Oh, sorry, not an Amazon. A dead Amazon who was raised as a zombie. And yes, I remember that match. Your zombie Amazon managed to intercept a football. It was kind of awesome, but I think she fell on her ass just shortly afterwards, if I remember right. Biggest brutes. Alas, my fucking Rat Ogre should be in this list. My Rat Ogre should be, maybe not as much as like a Lizard, Arnold Lizardegger or Old Man Jenkins, but they should, or even Groot, but they should be up here in this, like, this area. Like this 4 to 6 kind of area. But they are not. Garak, why? Why were you so nice? You're not here. You should be a brute. You should have been... Look, Rat Marshal Lily's there, but my Rat Ogre's not there. What the fuck? Grimjaw. My Rat Ogre was very well behaved, didn't do wild animal too much. However, also didn't murder people very much. So, a very intellectual Rat Ogre, Garak is. Best throwers. Eve's Ghost, Rat Kings did a lot of throwing. Rattling Descender, look at that. I didn't do that much throwing, but the one earlier in the league, the one did a few throws. So that's the Goblin one. Oh dear. My Rat Ogre is apparently a insult. Your Rat Ogre just wasn't killy enough, it's true. That one wasn't Movor, that was Twitch. Just your Rat Ogre. Ooh, what an insult. You're coming up with all the insults. Your Rat Ogre, your piranhas. Grimjaw's just full of filth today. Yeah, and Twitchy is for some reason on there as well. I think I passed the ball to a gutter runner who passed it to another gutter runner at some point. The bots are very sensitive, but they make me laugh, so I've got a weird sense of humour, Grimjaw. I love seeing what they're sensitive about. It's just amazing. Best rushes. Seamus the Cook and Do Not Steal have actually outdone Modelity and Twitchy in running yards, and I think they came up quite late as well. I think Seamus was up there. I don't know if Donut Steal was. Maybe he did a lot of running against the AI, because I think he might have been below Modelity before. I think she might have been second. Best passes. Best rushes. I thought we'd already done throwers. Passes. Okay, sure. I mean, the one is on there as well. I mean, that's kind of the same thing. That's a bit weird. Best scorer at Modelity. I think we're back at that. No, most matches played. Okay. Yeah, Modelity is there. Twitch isn't really on there. Tessapal got injured in the last game, but not permanently. Oh wait, Twitch is on there. What am I talking about? So Modelity got me 8 goals. Twitchy got me 5. I might have had 1 goal on a non-gutter runner. That's it. Most matches played. Most people managed to play 9, so it's a bit of a silly stat, really. So this is a league thing, isn't it? So if you have all the other competitions in this same league, it's gonna be, this Hall of Fame is gonna get more and more complicated and interesting, right? Best punching bags. Deagle of Hobbiton FC, Fatty Bulger of Hobbiton FC, Bilbo Baggins of Hobbiton FC, Pippin Took of Hobbiton FC, wow. Trolls is one of my best. Thy Time Is Coming, our former DM of the Traveller, also one of my best. Where's the blood in the bowl to collect the blood? It's under the desk. I've been drinking from it, Dan. Dan, please answer the mystery. Why did you put a chocolate cake in Discord the other day? Discord. Why? Well, I wondered if it was your birthday and I have to wish you a happy birthday. It was a very delicious looking chocolate cake. But also I wondered if you were memeing. Yeah. I don't have too many punching bags, thankfully. There's even a Chaos player on the punching bag list, and a couple of, I don't know if they're the skinks or not. They might be the skinks. I just like the picture. It does look very tasty. Most experienced. We started here. Let's go back to the top 3. Oh my goodness. There we go. This is the one I like the best. Fidelity. Number 1 scorer. Ain't she great? So there's no news. These are the current teams. It's Carnage Cup. But soon we will be playing with the Dragonfire Forges, whose video is on my YouTube playlist somewhere where I created the game. Where I created this team. They have names after emotional states. And so every match is a metaphor for whether you're going to beat depression or depression is going to beat you. So yes, it's going to be interesting because I don't have a runner, so I have nobody with any agility or who can pick up the ball. So it's going to be a case of just trying to like survive and bash the shit out of people for the first 2 games. Goddamn emotional dwarves, yeah. It's my emotional anti-comfort dwarf. My own emotional, what's the opposite of support? My emotional instability, destabilizer dwarves. I guess that works. Yes. Especially this one, uncertainty. Look at him though. He looks like he's already injured, to be honest. Looks very traumatized. Trauma could be a good name. I've got a couple written down somewhere as well, but I can't remember where I wrote them. Typical. I had names of I better look for that. See where I wrote it, because I was going to name the runners something. And then I've had these duplicate dwarves that I've been playing in a league. Oops. So they were made the same as these to practice with. I'm in 7 out of 7 of a round robin, and honestly it hasn't gone super well. I'm at the bottom. So I'm not really built for bashy leagues, I would say, and I'm not predicting being very good in the next one, because this is against AI. I have actually, there are a couple of games that I forfeited though, so I think these losses were forfeits, but I've just drawn a lot. But like when I played things that weren't going to be like the Goblin team, actually I forfeited one and I've lost one. Because I played the Goblin team. I didn't play the Goblin team because they're not going to be in the Bashet League. Well, neither are Nurgle, but I might have played them anyway to see what it was like. Or I might have, I can't remember now. But yeah, let me see. The ones where what does it tell you when you give up? So, 0/0 Dark Taurus duplicate, so I played that one. Putrid Parasites, Duplicates. Did I play that one? I'm not sure if I did. Where's the... Yeah, I think it gives them 2 goals when you forfeit, so maybe I did play Nurgle. Because I think the Screwy Creepers was the Goblins. And that's why they've got 2 goals, because they got awarded that because I gave up. It was a bashy start though, so it's quite fitting for a test. Yeah, it was a good test. And then against, was that the Chaos Dwarves I did a bit better? I can't remember. But... And then, yeah, then draws, just lots of draws. More dwarves, I think. We're gonna have a lot of dwarves and 0-0 games and dwarves, and we're gonna have a lot of dwarves, we're gonna have a lot of draws as well in this next league. So that is the league summary.